Hi everyone, it's Felicia. Thank you for joining me again this week. I'm so thankful that you're tuning in and you're enjoying these videos and sharing them with your friends and family. So this week we're talking about the nature of consciousness. This is, we're continuing going through Jack Kornfield's book, The Wise Heart, and it's chapter 3, and he talks about consciousness as vast as the sky. And there's a quote in here I want to share with you, and it says, "Develop a mind that is vast like the space around us, where experiences, both pleasant and unpleasant, can appear and disappear without conflict, struggle, or harm." So they talk about consciousness in the Buddhist tradition as basically like the wide open sky, and that's without clouds, without anything in it, where it just is clear as a bell, right? Also, another sort of analogy is consciousness as a mirror. So many times when we're looking in the mirror, we're seeing things through our old experiences, through our judgments, through what we think we look like, what we think we are. And that's really the level of ego. And it talks about when we start to meditate and awaken on the path, what we do is start to clear that reflection. So imagine right now that you went to look at yourself in the bathroom mirror, but it was foggy, right? And maybe there was scribbling of words on it that was just dirty. Could you really see yourself very clearly? No, you would see yourself distorted. If there was a crack, like imagine there was a crack running across my screen, I would see that crack within myself. You know, early on, I was working with a client who at one point had eating disorders, and that still left an impression upon her. And when I was working on her, she was struggling with some of those old addictions arising, some of those old perceptions of herself. And I actually saw a mirror, and I saw in that intuitive state that what she sees is those cracks in that mirror. She doesn't see the beauty of who she is. It was very funny. She called me the next day and she said, actually in her environment, a mirror fell the next day, and she looked down and she could actually see what I was talking about, that her face looked distorted, that she looked bigger than she was, she looked broken in places that she wasn't, and it was a real aha for her. You know, imagine that a lot of us are doing that. We're looking through the eyes of the old, of maybe the way that we used to look, and we've changed, right? And we're not seeing that clearly. Maybe it's through an old perception, an old idea we had about ourselves, and we've made that change. You know, I was listening this morning on my run, Michael Jackson's song, The Man in the Mirror, and he says he's going to make a change starting with the man in the mirror. He's asking to change his ways. That way, when he wants to change the world, he changes it by changing the view of himself. And when we change ourselves, it changes the view of our world, and it changes the view that we are, even our role that we have in the world. You know, when I changed my view from a very damaged, hurt individual as a child, somebody who was unlovable, to really understanding the pure consciousness within me that was this beautiful, bright light out in the world and that wanted to be shared. Each year, what I feel like is I'm just letting go of those things that cloud up my mirror, and I'm becoming clearer and clearer about who I am. And when I'm able to do that, I become clearer and clearer in my way to describe that with others and to share that with others. So the way I changed my world was to go inside, to clean up my old perceptions, to clean up my old judgments, and now to share who I am out in the world. And that is this ability to be in my consciousness, which is vast and open, clear as a bell. So this week I offer to you is, what are those things that are clouding your vision of yourself? Are you still holding on to some old idea? Even people that, you know, I see people that have lost a lot of weight. They have changed their life in tremendous ways and they still see themselves the old way. When you look in the mirror this week, look in the mirror and look closely into your eyes and look for the seer within. Look for that clear consciousness that just reflects the beauty that stands before you. Because all of you are beautiful, tremendous, open, amazing, loving people, and maybe you just don't see that. So if you're one that can see that in others, reflect that back. Be their mirror that says you're amazing. So I'm going to reflect that to you, and I'm looking at all of you right now, and I'm saying to you, you're amazing, beautiful, and wonderful. Share that part of you with everyone you meet this week. So have the most blessed week, and I will see you soon. Namaste.